Well, hello, Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry the line got disconnected. This is modern share in a group. Uh, General revision 2. General revision 2. Okay. Mm. Well, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I'm sorry the line got disconnected a while ago. I had to search for another source. And for those who have access to the YouTube, I'm equally on the YouTube channel right now. So I'm going to send this to uh, Zahra. Okay, let me send this to you. Then you please send it to the Facebook group. Okay. Okay. Where are we right now? Okay, so I'm going to send this one to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to see how I can get it connected back through the. I'm sure you. We are still on Facebook, right? But I'm to have an alternative way for the on YouTube, probably. So I'm going to send. Okay. Mm, this thing is getting complicated. It's okay. Just let's continue this. We were talking about René Descartes' biographical accounts and background, and so I believe so. These are. Mhm. I'm trying to locate Brother Ridwan Nizam. If you can send me a private message, please, on Facebook. I want to send the YouTube link to you so that you can distribute. Okay, Brother Ridwan Nizam, I think I find you. So I'm sending a private message to you. Is that him? I need to send a private message, not going through now. This is a public message. Okay. سبحانك اللهم. Okay, I just sent, I believe that I just sent a link to the group now, not to the Telegram, but to this. So I'm not sure whether it is not reflecting here yet. Okay, please share this on the link if you receive it. Anyone that received the link that I sent, please share it on the Facebook channel so that we can all see it. So it is. So this is a YouTube channel that is equally working now that we can use. So anyway. So anyway. Okay, I think this is the YouTube channel. Has anyone received the link I sent on Facebook? I'm not sure whether you have received that. I'm trying to be sure. It's just another link that I'd like to use in case the Facebook goes off again, so that we don't have to lose a lot of things. So it's one. So if anyone can just send me a private message, so I need to send you a link, the YouTube link that we are also using for this revision. So if anyone can just simply send me a private message directly now, so that I will appreciate that. I think it's already there. Okay. Thank you. Please, you may share it on the Facebook now, so that everyone can join if the Facebook goes off. Now, I think we should go on now. So we are talking about Francis Bacon, René Descartes' statement that was equally similar to that of Francis Bacon when he was studying. Okay, he said, "لم تكد تسمح لي سني بالإفلات من رقابة معلمي." So when I was free from the Rikobat Mu'alimi means the guidance and supervision of my teachers. Okay. Lam takad tasmah li sinni, my age, my experience سني هنا يعني خبرتي. My experience does not permit me. Okay, سني خبرتي لم تسمح لي بالإفلات من رقابة معلمي. So my experience and my age did not permit me to continue following the directions and supervisions of my teachers, my lecturers, my advisors. Okay, so at this age, هجرت دراسة الآداب هجرا قاطعا. I had to leave the study of literature completely. So what he means by the study of literature completely here is the study of scholastic philosophy, meaning to say, so I was fed up with this ways, with this methodology that was used by my teachers, and I had to put a stop finally to the study of scholastic philosophy or scholastic study. وأزمعت ألا أنشد من العلم إلا معرفة نفسي. So and I يعني وأزمعت يعني قصدت يعني نويت يعني عزمت. So I decided, I made up my mind that I was not لا أنشد من العلم يعني لا أطلب من العلم إلا معرفة نفسي. So I'm not going to seek for any knowledge, any discipline, except the discipline or knowledge that is related to self-recognition. Okay? Number one. So I'm not going to study anything that has no connection with self-recognition. Number one. Number two, I'm not going to study anything that has no ilmamu bi sifr al-kawn al-azim. Sifr al-kawn here, kutub al-kawn. Kutub al-kawn, yani, so as we know, we have al-kutub al-mudawwana, okay, and we have al-kutub al-mukawwana. So we have written books and we have creational books, that is universal books, the ones that are not in scripture, but you can only see and read through nature. So he said, I decided not to look for any knowledge or not to study anything that has no relationship with self-recognition. Number one, I decided not to have anything doing with any knowledge that has no connection with Sifr al-Kawn al-Azim, the great book of the creation. Okay, so by this, meaning to say, I wanted to concentrate on self-study and natural study. So that is what it means to say. So through this, فَأَنْفَقْتُ مَا بَقِيَ مِنْ شَبَابِي, I spent the rest of my youth. Fil irtihal. Irtihal here means tripping from one place to the other, meaning moving from one place to the other as a fugitive. As a fugitive, yani someone that has no place to settle out. So I spent the rest of my youthful age fil irtihal. So moving from one place to another, meaning on migration. On migration here, so what was he doing on migration? According to him, he said, Azurul muluka fi kusurihim. Sometimes I visited the kings in their palaces. Some other time, and kharitu fi silkil juyush. Some other time, I joined the profession of military training. Some other time, ubadilul haditha rijalan min dhawil manasib المتفاوتة يعني الرفيعة المناسب المرتفعة والطبقات المتباينة. So some other time I engaged in discussions with people of high calibers, people from high positions, okay, who are highly placed, and people who are high in the community. Okay, what do I do? Through my visiting to the palace, through my joining the military training, through my discussions with a lot of people, what did I gain? أجمع من التجربة ألوانا شتى. I collected various forms of experiences. ولقد كنت أغوص بفكري. I concentrate my thought, my thinking, فيما أصادف من تجارب, on everything that I experienced, I met on my trip, on my traveling, on my migration. لعلي أفيد علما جديدا. Perhaps I could find some new areas of knowledge, okay, or new science or new way. So هكذا لبث ديكارت يجول في البلاد ولا يستقر في مكان. So that was how René Descartes started moving from one place to the other, from without any settlement to without any place of settlement. Not because that he could not afford to stay, to rent an apartment or to get a place for himself, but because he wanted to have a lot of experience from many people. So that was basically the reason why he had to move from one place, migrate to one place, from one place to the other. Okay, so هكذا لبث ديكارت يجول في البلاد ولا يستقر في مكان فيلتحق بخدمة الجيش مرة. Sometimes he joined military training, military services. ويدرس الرياضة طورا. Some other time طورا يعني مرة. Okay, some other time he used to study mathematics, arithmetics. ويحاول أو يحاور يعني يناقش. So, and some other times he had discussion with رجال العلم النابهين تارة, scientists, okay, men of scientists who are great in their field. حتى بلغ من عمره الثالثة والثلاثين. So he continued this, tripping, moving, migrating from one places to another, from the palaces to palaces, and a lot of that, until he was 33 years of age. So when he was 33 years of age, he stopped migration. He stopped moving from one place to the other. ألقى عصا تسياره يعني ارتياله يعني سفره. ألقى عصا تسياره في هولندا. So he stopped moving. He stopped traveling about. So he settled down in Holland. وكان له من الثروة الموروثة عن أبيه ما يهيئ له أسباب العيش. So he was not poor. He was from a rich family, rich background. So the inheritance that he got from his father enabled him to live perfectly well and okay. ولبث في هولندا 20 سنة. So at the age of 33, from the age of 33, he lived in Holland for 20 years. So if you add 20 years plus 50 plus 33, so at the age of 53, what happened? Okay, so he lived in Holland for 20 years. Okay, so and throughout these 20 years, all his stay in Holland, اعتزل الناس وأخفى عنهم محل إقامته. Okay, so he isolated himself. He lived an isolated life. He did not allow people to know where he was living. So not because he didn't like people, or he did not want to relate with people, but because he did not want iz'aj. He didn't want any distraction. Okay, حتى لا يزعجه في وحدته الهادئة أحد من مئات المعجبين به. So he did not want people to disturb his concentration, okay? Because so that people, his lovers, who are in hundreds, will not be able to disturb him with visiting. and a lot of that. So in the year 1649, okay, so this is a very important stage of his life. In 1649, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Christina, so the Queen of Sweden of that time, so who was the daughter of Gustav Adolf, so sent for René Descartes to visit her. Okay, so we need to say a little bit about Queen Christina. She was a lover of philosophy, and she heard a lot about René Descartes' understanding of philosophy. So, and she was keen. She was interested in learning philosophy through René Descartes. So, and she was a queen. She could not leave her palace for traveling to Holland to meet René Descartes. So she sent for René Descartes to come over to Sweden in order to establish a philosophical connection with her. Okay, so René Descartes accepted the invitation to visit Queen Christina. And what happened there was that Queen Christina sent a personal entourage to go and bring René Descartes directly to her, meaning it's just like when a prime minister of a country invites someone to visit him or her, so and send personal cars and entourage security to bring the person right from his home country. So that was what happened. So Queen Christina sent a tour, a voyage on the sea to go and bring René Descartes directly to her. And we are going to read very soon a statement that was issued by what we call it, the sailor of that voyage. What the statement that he said when Queen Christina asked him what was the character and the habit of René Descartes on his way to Sweden. Okay, so we are going to read the statement very soon, but let me quickly give a very close summary of what happened in Sweden. In Sweden, Queen Christina was used to studying and waking up early and studying in the early morning. And Sweden of that time was an extremely cold environment. And when René Descartes was coming to Sweden, he did not prepare himself for the extreme cold of that nature, of that environment. So number one, number two, and he was not used to waking up that early. Okay, Queen Christina was an ardent early waker. Okay, and that was in the opposition to the nature, to the biological build-up of René Descartes. So that caused a distraction or a kind of habitual changes to René Descartes, particularly the sleeping pattern. The sleeping pattern, because René Descartes in Holland was used to studying throughout the night and sleeping until the half day, until the midday, like not waking up like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. He will wake up around 10, 11, 12 noon. Okay, but in Sweden, he was forced by the order of not kind of forcing, but because the queen wanted to have the study in the morning, early morning, like 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m., and so on, before people will come to the palace for many things. So so this situation, the biological changes in his build-up so really disturbed him. And at the end of the day, he was infected with pneumonia, and so he was actually planning a return back to Holland, but unfortunately, he died in Sweden through the pneumonia. So, what is the correlation here? So, the correlation here was, if you look into back to Francis Bacon, so he was also carrying out an experiment, so outskirts of London. So, and he stopped at a nearby village, where he wanted to perform an experiment to test the possibility of preserving fresh meat, with snow. Okay, and of course, we said that was the evolution, the beginning of the evolution of using refrigerator or fridge in preservation of food, most particularly fresh meat. Okay, so Francis Bacon was also affected with pneumonia, so he died outskirts of London. And so let's go back to René Descartes. So that was basically a close picture of how he lived in Sweden and how he ended his life. So now let's go back to reading. We are going to stop on the quotation that was mentioned by the sailor of the voyage that picked him from Holland to Sweden. Okay, وفي سنة 1649 أرسلت في طلبه الملكة كريستينا، يعني أرسلت الملكة كريستينا في طلبه. So, who was the Queen Christina sent for him, yani invited him. So, who was the Queen of Sweden and the daughter of Gustav Adolf. فلبى ديكارت دعوتها. So Descartes answered her call, meaning accepted the visitation. ولم تكد تصل به السفينة إلى أرض السويد حتى أرسلت الملكة إلى ربانها تستنبئه يعني تستخبره يعني تطلب الخبر من ربان السفينة. So immediately, the moment the voyage that brought René Descartes arrived at Sweden, so Queen Christina sent for the sailor of this voyage, تستنبئه يعني تستخبره تطلب منه الخبر. So she was seeking for information from the sailor. What was the question she asked the sailor? The question was simply, كيف كانت حالة الفيلسوف في طريقه إلى بلادها? What was the feeling of René Descartes, of the philosopher, on his way to her country, to Sweden? Okay, فأجاب الرجل. So the sailor of the ship of the voyage asked and responded, answered the queen, saying, so this quotation is very important. He says, لست أحسبه يا سيدتي إنسانا. We repeat again. لست أحسبه يعني لست أراه لا أراه كإنسان. So يا سيدتي, my lord يعني my queen. لست أحسبه إنسانا. I think this is not a human being. Okay, I do not see him. I do not consider him insana min al bashar. I do not consider this man a human race, a humankind. I think he's an angel. فإن من جئت به إلى جلالتك اليوم لأقرب إلى مرتبة الآلهة. So the person I brought to your majesty today, إلى جلالتك, okay, the person I brought to your majesty today, لأقرب إلى مرتبة الآلهة, is more closer to the stage and level of gods. So he's a god, not a human being. So it's more God than being a human being. Why did he say this? Because this sailor has been sailing for about 60 years or over 60 years. And what the knowledge he got from René Descartes from this short movement and voyage from Holland to Sweden was more or outweighs the knowledge that he has gotten throughout his experience on the sea, throughout the 60 years that he has spent on the sea. According to him, he says, Innahu zawadani min al-ilmi. Zawadani yani, when you say Rabbi zidni ilma, Rabbi zidni ilma yani Rabbi alimni ziyadatan min al-ilmi. So, innahu zawadani min al-ilmi yani, innahu allamani. Allamani darasani, okay, fahimani min al-ilmi, atani min al-ilmi, fi thalathati asabi'i. So, he taught me in 3 weeks only, okay, أكثر مما تعلمت في 60 سنة, more than what I have learned in 60 years, for 60 years. He taught me only within 3 weeks, okay, meaning to say from Holland to Sweden, they spent around 3 weeks on the sea, okay, voyaging. Okay, so what he taught me, what I learned from him in 3 weeks is more than what I have learned, my experience for 60 years. Okay, so what was the experience he had for 60 years? The experience was fi shu'unil malaha wa riyah. Okay, the sailing affairs and the touring affairs, the voyaging affairs. So I have learned from him in 3 weeks about sailing affairs and voyaging, what outweighs my knowledge of 60 years of experience and faktuha fil bihar that I've spent on the sea. Okay, so that was the quotation. وَشَاءَ اللَّهُ أَن تَكُونَ زِيَارَةُ الْفَيْلَسُوفِ لِمَلَكَ السُّويد سَبَبًا فِي مَوْتِهِ. So, and by destiny, by fate, F-A-T-E, by fate and destiny. So the visitation of the philosopher René Descartes to the Queen of Sweden was a cause for his death, so to say. Okay, so we have explained that, so you can read on through that. Okay, anyway, let me read it. We have explained it. فقد كانت كريستينا وقد عرفها التاريخ بالنشاط الجمي والحيوية المتوثبة تستيقظ في الصباح المبكر. We read again. فقد كانت كريستينا تستيقظ في الصباح المبكر وكانت تأبى إلا أن يكون درس الفلسفة في تلك الساعة المبكرة. فلاقى ديكارت من هذا الأمر المتعصب ما لاقى من مرض وعناء، إذ كانت عادته أن يستيقظ من الدهى مع الدهى ويظهر أن قد كانت بنيته يعني is build up, is biological build up, nature. لا تقوى على برد الصباح القارس. So his biological nature was not strong enough to withstand the morning cold, the morning breeze, الذي كان يقاسيه, that he used to experience or feel في طريقه إلى القصر, when each time he went to the palace. فأزم مغادرة سويدا. So he intended on leaving Sweden, ولكن الملكة الحفت في بقائه. الحفت يعني أصرت يعني مصر على بقائه. So he actually wanted to return back to Holland, but the queen insisted that he waited فأصابه برد الشتاء بعلة في ريحتيه أودت بحياته سنة 1650 في اليوم 11 من فبراير. So he was affected with the winter cold, Latin, so with disease in his lungs, okay, and this caused the end of his life in the year 1650 on 11th February at the age of 54. Okay, so that was basically his background. Amma ashharu mu'allafatuhu, so the most important, so the most popular and famous of his writings and works is the book, the compilation that he calls Le Monde, that is the universe al-alam. Okay, lam yakad yafrugu min kitabatihi حتى جاءه نبأ اتهام البابا لجاليليو لنظرياته الفلكية. Okay, so when he was about finishing the writing of the book, The Universe, okay, so he received the information about the suspense of Galileo, that the Pope suspected Galileo for atheism because of his philosophical ideology and theory. وكان كتاب ديكارت قائما على أساسها. So the Descartes' book was also based on the same idea. So فزعر وهم بتمزيقه. So he was afraid of publishing the book and he wanted to destroy the book. ولكنه دنه به فأبقاه على أن يزل من غير طبعا. Okay, من غير تباعي. So but he managed to save and keep the book with him and decided not to publish the book. Okay, in the year 1638 he published his essay. So this essay is what he called Maqalatun Falsafiyatun, philosophical essays. Okay, if you go back to, this is different from the Maqalatu Bacon, Bacon's essay. So Bacon has his own essay, and Descartes also has his own philosophical essay. وقد ألحق بهذا الكتاب ثلاث رسائل تطبيقا على ما جاء به من نظريات. Okay, after this Maqalat Falsafiyya, he also published some another 3 treatises, Treatise, Treatise, I mean small pamphlets, small books. Okay, so he also published 3 treatises in accordance to the to his philosophical ideas. So وعلى الرغم من أن ديكارت قد أصدر هذا الكتاب وملحقاته الثلاثة غفلا من اسمه, although those books, the Maqalat Falsafiyya and the other 3 treatises that he wrote, so he wrote them without appending his name on them. Okay, so he wrote them anonymously. Although he wrote them anonymously, so people, they still understood that those books were written by him. إلا أن أحدا في أوروبا لم يرتب في أن مؤلفه هو Descartes. So they still knew that the author and the writer was Descartes, although he didn't write his name because he was afraid of being imprisoned. So in the year 1641, he wrote another book, a compilation that he called Ta'ammulatun fil Falsafatil Ula. Okay, discussions about the first philosophy. Okay, he wrote it in Latin language, and this is one of the most important books that he wrote. Okay, وقد تداوله كثير من العلماء قبل طبعه وأبدوا بعض اعتراضات عليه فنشرها ونشر رده عليه مع الكتاب نفسه ثم أخرج بعد ذلك كتاب المبادئ الفلسفية. So after that book, he wrote another book which is the Principles of Philosophy. Okay, Principles of Philosophy, or Introduction to Philosophy, or Foundation of Philosophy. So he also wrote it in Latin language. And apart from that, so he wrote many books and many articles, many treatises. Okay, so now going to his philosophy, Falsafatuhu, okay, about his philosophy, about his birth, would you do that? So he also, so this is, now basically, there are three establishments in the establishments of René Descartes, so that you can just read on. Okay, so the three establishments were, number one, he started his philosophical studies with skepticism. Skepticism, you remember Francis Bacon says that فَإِنَّكَ إِنْ بَدَأْتَ بِالْإِيمَانِ فِي شَيْءٍ فَسَتَنْتَهِي بِكَ الْحَالُ إِلَى الشَّكِّ وَلَكِنَّكَ إِذَا بَدَأْتَ بِالشَّكِّ سَتَنْتَهِي بِكَ الْأَمْرُ إِلَى الْحَقِّ وَالْيَقِينِ. Okay, so this exactly was what René Descartes did. He started by skepticism. Okay, skepticism meaning doubting the existence of everything, including the existence of himself and his rational being also. So, and the first thing that he established, the first thing that he realized through this skepticism was the realization of himself, self-realization. So this self-realization was not the bodily realization, it was mental and rational and intellectual realization that he first established. So after establishing this, so he established Wujud al-Kawn, and after this he established Wujudullah. So these are the three establishments that he did, so that he engaged in his philosophy. And his philosophy is surrounded by these three establishments generally. Okay, we are going to read إثبات وجود الذات. يقول ديكارت إننا نلاحظ كيف يختلف الناس في أفكارهم وآرائهم. We notice how people differ in their thought and their views and opinions, and we also notice كيف تخدعنا الحواس في كثير من الأحيان. We also know that our senses deceive us in most cases. فيبعث الشيء الواحد شتى الصور في الظروف المختلفة. So nature will make one thing appear to us in many things, in various ways, okay, and in various situations. مما يتعذر معه معرفة أي هذه الصور الذهنية صحيح مطابق للواقع. So we are confused sometimes as to which of these realization of things or the perception of things are actually real, okay, because what appears to you, for example, as green might appear to some other people as yellow, and might equally apply to appear to some other people as blue and some other colors. So those who are colorblind, they will definitely see things, a color of things differently from what all other individuals who are not colorblind see. Okay, so he is confused. He says, so we cannot trust our hawas. So this is in opposition to Francis Bacon's idea. Francis Bacon based his mulahazo and tajriba on sense perception, because we use our senses to perceive and observe and experiment things. So René Descartes comes to say that no, our senses cannot be trusted because they are deceiving. Okay, so they deceive us in most cases. So rather, we all informations that we get outside actually come from our intellectual, from our rationality, from our sense, from our mind. Okay, so to say. So we are going to come to that reading. Okay, مما يتعذر معه معرفة هذه الصور الذهنية صحيح مطابق للواقع وأيها خطأ وباطل. فإذا كان العقل البشري بحكم تكوينه معرضا للخطأ. So if by nature human senses are opened to errors and mistakes, meaning to say, if our senses can deceive us and we can make mistakes, so why is there cannot وإذا كانت الحواس بطبيعة تركيبها خاطئة. So if the senses are naturally deceiving, that we cannot believe, we cannot trust the information that it gives us, then فَلَيْسَ لَنَا بُدٌّ مِنَ الشَّكِّ فِي أَحْكَامِ الْعَقْلِ. Okay, so then we should also be able to doubt the rational judgment also. وَفِي آثَارِ الْإِسِّيَّةِ جَمِيعًا. And also we should also doubt, we should also not be able, we should also not trust the judgment of what, of our senses. Meaning to say, he rejects both instantly and from the beginning. He rejects the both rational evidences and sense evidences. So, but only later he comes to establish that rational evidences are true. Okay, so this is general in the popular statement that he says, "Ana mawjudun, ana ufakir, wabidhalika ana mawjudun." Okay, so I am, therefore I think, therefore I am. Okay, ufakiru. Okay, ufakiru, I think. So wabidhalika ta'arraftu ala annani mawjudun. So of course, this is in opposition to the Islamic perception of the philosophy. So in the Islamic perception, ana mawjudun, it comes first. Al-wujud comes before at-tafakkur. Okay, but according to René Descartes, at-tafakkur comes before al-wujud. Okay, so meaning to say, I think, therefore I know that I am. Not that I know that I am, then that means because I am, then I think. So he says, I think, therefore I am. So that is in contradiction to what? To the Islamic perception of philosophical perception of being. Okay. So by this, لا نستثنى من هذه أو تلك شيئا حتى ما يبدو منها بديهيا لا يحتمل الريب. فنحن نعلم فيما نعلم أن هناك عالما مليئا بأنواع المادة فثمت يعني هناك، فهناك سماء وماء وأشجار وأحجار وصنوف من الحيوان والنبات. Okay, so we know there are many matters, many objects. We know there is heaven, there is water, there are trees, there are stones, there are rocks, there are mountains, there are various kinds of animals and plants. ولكن أليست هي الحواس التي أنبأتنا يعني أخبرتنا بوجود هذه الطبيعة بكل ما فيها. So how do we know, how do we realize all these things? Do we not see them or realize them? The information that we know about Sama'u, Ma'u, Ashjar, Ahjar, Sunuf, Hayawanat. So do we not get the information through our senses? It is, these informations are gotten through our senses, and we already doubted our senses that it is faulty. It is faulty, and it is not trustworthy. So if we can doubt the sense that gives us the information, then we should not trust the existence of these things. So that is in one word what he wants to say. Okay. ولكن أليست هي الحواس التي أنبأتنا بوجود هذه الطبيعة بكل ما فيها فلنشك في وجودها إذن لأن الحواس غاشة خادئة. So this is basically where he started his skepticism from, and he arrived at what he doubted the senses, he doubted the mentality, intellectuality, minds, everything. He doubted everything. So first, he doubted the wujud of God, he doubted the wujud of nature, he doubted the wujud of anything. Okay. Then he come to say that, Na'am, inni mahma al-ahtu. Okay. So now we are on page 99, or those who have the old book. Okay. So he says, Inni mahma al-ahtu fi shakki falam ashukka fi anni ashukku. So this is when he started to realize himself. So he said, whatever skepticism, however long I engage in skepticism, it is very sure that lam ashukka fi anni ashuk. I cannot doubt that I am doubting. There is no doubt that I am doubting, so I am sure of that. وَلَمَّا كَانَ الشَّكُّ ضَرْبًا مِنْ ضُرُوبِ التَّفْكِيرِ. And because skepticism itself is a form of thought, is a form of thinking, then even فَلَسْتُ أَسْتَطِيعُ الشَّكَّ فِي أَنِّي أُفَكِّرُ. So therefore, because skepticism is a form, is a kind of thinking, so I cannot doubt that I am thinking. So وَبَدِيهِيٌّ أَنَّنِي لَوْ لَمْ أَكُنْ مَوْجُودًا. So naturally, initially, eventually, if I am not mawjudan, lama shakaktu aw fakartu. I cannot doubt and I cannot think. So if I can think and doubt, famadumtu ufakiru fa ana mawjudun. So since I can think and I can doubt, then therefore ana mawjudun. I am a being. I am a being. So وهكذا وضع ديكارت هذه القاعدة. So from that explanation, René Descartes was able to establish qaida. Qaida, a proposition that ana ufakiru fa ana idhan mawjudun. So this is a popular statement of René Descartes. Ana ufakir fa ana idhan mawjudun. So I am, therefore I think, therefore I am. Okay, ana ufakiru, I think, fa ana idhan mawjud, therefore I am. Okay, وَاتَّخَذَهَا أَسَاسًا أَقَامَ عَلَيْهِ فَلْسَفَتَهُ بِأَسْرِهَا. So this is the foundation on which all its philosophies was built upon. فَمِنْ وُجُودِ نَفْسِهِ أَثْبَتَ وُجُودَ اللَّهِ. So from the self-realization, from his mental realization, he was able to establish the existence of God. وَمِنْ وُجُودِ اللَّهِ أَثْبَتَ وُجُودَ الْعَالَمِ الْخَارِجِ. And from there, from the wujud of God, from God's existence, we established that the nature, everything that we see in nature cannot be without a creator. So, of course, God must be in charge of what? Of the whole creation. So, that is, so basically, so the general philosophy of so on page 100 you have Isbat Wujudillah, how he established the existence of God. Okay, then and he says because things cannot be alone, any object must have a maker. Any created object must have a creator. So all these natural phenomena that we see cannot be alone without a creator. Okay, on the next page, page 103, you have Isbat Wujud Al-Kawn. So that is where he established the fact of nature, the natural establishment. Okay, so another, so he goes back to the idealistic idea of Plato, by believing in ideal creation of things. Okay, so that is under discussion of Thunaiyatul Wujud. Thunaiyatul Wujud, that is the imitative aspect of what? Of the creation. So meaning to say this creation cannot be the real one. So there has to be another real creation beyond this, behind this. Okay, so that is okay. So he discusses about physics, that is tabi'atul madiyya, material nature, the nature of the components of nature. So that is physicalities. Okay, and also have some discussion about metaphysicalities. Okay, so that is I think what we are going to yeah, I do not want to stop here, but we really have to put a stop to this. We cannot continue forever. I understand that perhaps most of you have exam tomorrow or so, or maybe after tomorrow. Okay, so I don't want to take much of your time. And point number 6, he discusses about the rational philosophy. Okay, as we have said in class, so the founder of the observational philosophy or experimental philosophy or practical philosophy was Francis Bacon, and the founder of rational or intellectual philosophy was Rene Descartes. So he, as under that falsafatul aql, he discussed metaphysics in great detail. Okay, so you are advised to listen to the recorded video on this and get some more detail properly on that. Okay, so having said that, Malebranche, we are not going to deal with Malebranche, so it can be an individual study. So we are going to round up this session. Okay, but before we round up, I want to go back to the question that was asked before. So regarding the exams, the nature of the exam, whether it is going to be objective or subjective. So I just need to tell you this before we go into the nature of exam. So for those who have been able to attend the test number 1 and test number 2, so the exam will come in that nature, in similar nature, not exactly the same questions, okay? And but in that format, in the format that you had in test 1 and test 2, the format, okay, that nature, the configuration, so it comes in that. So it is objective, okay, coming to answer that question. It is mostly objective because so you have to use the OMR to choose whether it is A, B, C, D, or E, whether it is true or false. There are true and false and questions there, and there are A, B, C, D, E questions there, and there are fill in the blanks questions there. Okay, the questions that you really have to fill the blanks. So meaning to say, you have to be well aware of some of the quotations that we have mentioned, both in class and the online just now. So you have to be able to recall them. Okay, so as I said in class, you do not have to memorize anything in philosophy. You just have to understand. Okay, if you memorize, you are going to lose the spirit of studying philosophy. But if you understand, you'll be able to formulate your own idea in understanding, in expressing what you have understood. So that is about the nature of the test of the questions. Okay, so it is but of course, man jadda wajada, it depends on your striving, on your revision. Okay, for those who attended the class fully and who paid attention in the group discussion and individual assignment and a lot of that, attended the test 1 and test 2, I think the final exam is just a kind of general revision for you. So, but it might be, I don't pray that it becomes difficult for anyone, but it might be a bit tough for those who do not, who missed the classes or did not concentrate fully well in the class and did not participate well in the group assignment and the individual assignment, because all those questions are coined from the combination of all together. So the questions are from within the book, not outside the book. Okay. So, and also, yeah, that is, I know you want to know some areas of concentration. Yeah. So the Al-Khasa'is al-Amma lil-Falsafat al-Haditha, that article, both Arabic and the characteristics of modern Western philosophy in English, so both of them are equally important. both of them are equally important. So your ability to remember those the khasa'is al-mutamayyiza lil-falsafati al-haditha, the general features that distinguish modern philosophy from the rest. So it's an additional it's an addition. Will be an addition to your work, to you getting the scope of the final exam. Okay, but having said that, so you do not have to memorize, I say, but you need to study to understand. Revise your notes that you have taken in class. Revise to listen to those recorded videos that we have online. So, and if there is any further question after this, inshallah, I'm still going to be around and available. So we have our Telegram group. You can always ask questions from there. I have my WhatsApp. You can also send it, or otherwise you can call directly also. So my phone is on 24/7, and here the phones are with me. I'm not offing them, and so this is the Telegram and the WhatsApp are all working. So you can call or private message if occasion demands. Okay, so that is if there is any further question that anyone needs to ask, please ask your question. I will be able, inshallah, I will try as much as I can to attend the questions. So otherwise, let's wait for questions if there are questions, please. If you cannot type your questions on the Facebook, you can send it privately to me, to my WhatsApp or Telegram. So, and for those of you, I realize you do not have my number. I do not know why. Telegram is not really revealing my numbers to you. So, but the number you can still get is 019-6563-013. So 019-6563-013, right? 013. 019-6563-013. Okay, 01 sembilan 6563. Okay, so that is the number for those who do not have the number. Okay, so you can call, you can private message. So, and inshallah, I will try as much as I am able to attend those questions. So, I think again I need to record that. So this session is also available on YouTube. So that I have sent the link to one of our brothers, and he can share with everyone to have access to it on YouTube. But it is a closed, only those who have the links can have access to the YouTube channel. So that is because it is not meant for public lecture. It is an individual. It's an individual private classes, let's say, or private general revision class. Okay, so so there are, for those who joined us later, there are two parts of this general discussion. One part was over an hour, and the second part is also another 1 hour, few minutes, okay, and added. So with this, I think I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to wait here. If there is any question that you have, I'm going to wait for more 5 minutes to attend to those questions if there are. Otherwise, after 5 minutes, inshallah, we are going to, inshallah, end the session if there is no question or further comment. Okay. Yeah, let me tell you this. The grade for the individual assignments, I'm not done with it yet. It is still under review. I've only finished about 5 or 6. Okay. So, but the rest are 151. I'm still reading them. I've not graded. But the group assignments and the group presentation have been graded. Okay, so please check your group assignment grade and let me know if there is any discrepancies, if there is any mistake or error that you think there is in the grading. Okay, then we will revisit it and see if there is a way to improve that, inshallah. Then the test one is automatic. You should have kept your grade on that, and test two is also supposed to be automatic. Okay, and e-attendance is also supposed to be automatic, I guess. Okay, so having said that, so you should be able to have a calculative idea of what your cumulative carry mark is. Okay, so the only part remaining now is the individual assignment that I have that I'm yet to grade. So, and inshallah, very soon, by this time tomorrow, I am sure, inshallah, I should have finished the grading and the reading, inshallah. So, I'm waiting for your question. If there is any question or comment or any suggestion or any request or anything. Okay. Okay, brother one Muhammad Shahran, any question? Nur Shazwani, brother Muhammad Shafiq, Aliana Zaki, Nur Shakira, brother Muhammad Adam, Ikram, any question from anyone? Anna Aziz, Iman Azwaja, Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Aizat Fitri, Umaru, Mastura, Khawla Az-Zahriya, Shafi, Siti Zainab, Siti Nur Amira, Sarah Abdul Muttalib. Any question from anyone? Thank you for joining the session. Idris Farah Fisher, Dalila Sufyan Suwano, Aini Zulkifli, Fatiha Shukri, Aizat Adib, Safwan Ikwan, Amira Yusuf, Nawar Basira, Zulfakar Hosni Bintu Zakaria, Nur Amalina, Amir Farid, Zahra. Thank you all for joining the session and making it a reality. Thank you for staying up to this time. I know it must have been an inconvenient time for you, but you still managed to stay up. Okay, thank you all. We pray and end with Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wa anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa barik lana fi ilmina wa waffiqna ila mardatika wa ahdina ila sawa'i sirati fi imtihanatina dunya wa akhirah birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. We are going to end this session, inshallah, with Surah Al-Asr and Tasbih Al-Kafara. Bi-idhnillah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ سُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ نَسْتَغْفِرُكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَنَتُوبُ إِلَيْكَ ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك حقا وصدقا وعدلا سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, we end it here first. We just have to send the recording here. End live video. To choose if you want. Okay, we want to save it. Okay, your live video has ended. The replay of your video will be available soon in this group. Okay. All right, end the video here also.